Here are some thoughts I have on the Nocturne in E-flat major, Opus 9, number 2. And I try to go with an intuitive vocal model, really, when I'm playing. How do I sing it? So in the beginning, I'm going from a shorter note, a pickup note, to a long note. So I'm definitely going to delay the long note as if I'm going into the honey, so there's some resistance. And I'm going to think of phrases sort of talking back to each other, back and forth, so that there's relationships between statements and responses, and you can hear that as the music plays out. Tie, pull, resolve. Start something new. Answer. There, paggiatura, resolution. Continue. Here I lift my hands. I drop my voice. I open up. This is the biggest part. 3, 1, 2. Now here's a variation. Long line. There, hold down. And fall down and open it up. Portamento. Now the second part is total mood set change. Double soft. Triple and tone. Drop your voice. More here. Push. Push. 6 chord. We're in B flat major here. 2 chord. I'm done. Secondary dominant, secondary dominant, primary dominant. Improvise. Destination there. And lean to 2 chord. Resolve. Open it up. And then we come back to the second part. Anyway, this is repeating what we heard basically before. On the last page is where things really change. We have a new material here. Measure 25. Now answer that double soft. Variation. Very soft. Very delicatissimo. Open it up. Now is that a piece a little bit bigger? Now suddenly, very big. And then it should be very big. And then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hardly any fingers. Group the notes. Rotate. So it is important to define the phrasing of the right hand alone. The next thing you do is you do the fundamental bass and the right hand. Which means just in each group of triplets that you have in the left hand, groups of 3, you're only going to do the first note of each group of 3. So you get the fundamental bass, which is nice to do because the whole trick of this is not to let the afterbeat chords chug out and interrupt the flow of what you just produced when you played just the line and you allowed yourself to flow through it. It's very easy for these afterbeats to start slowing everything up and interrupting the line on top. So that's why a good second step is to do fundamental bass and the soprano, so you still preserve that horizontal flow in the right hand, such as this. More. Appoggiatura, resolve. So you're preserving your melodic contour. Fold down. You have to fold down in those places. Open up. So this would be less. See, I have to be real careful of things like that. And then bass goes down. Fall down. Those are real places you have to fall down. Lean to. Fall down again. Open up. Now here comes that second part B section where the mood switch is. So beautiful. Little rubato there. Fall down. So you have to be careful falling down with the left hand as the right hand's falling down as well. Now this is bigger. 6 chord, 2 chord cadence. I'm done. Now the fundamental bass dropped out, so you really have these harmonies. Back to. So I'm showing you how I practice it. Okay, I'm just going to show you the steps I do. The next thing I do, I ask the student or ask myself to do the afterbeat. And also again, and I should have fleshed it out, the idea of the slurrings of the afterbeats in some places. Like, you have to try to do that. And other places he doesn't have that. He takes away those sort of pairings of the afterbeats. Now this is where it gets tricky because you gotta kind of know your harmonies a little bit. Like in the left hand you have a kind of a split E flat chord. It's in first inversion. Forget all these inversions. Just know that you're pretty much feeling an E flat harmony under your hands. Now you're feeling a diminished chord, which would theoretically be this. If I wanted to compress it into its root position, it would be a D diminished, which is the 7 chord of E flat. And there are places where you want to hear things like the 2 chord, the C minor chord. Sometimes it goes to C major and creates a secondary dominant. Sometimes it creates a secondary dominant. We think it's going to go to F minor, but before it goes to an F minor chord, it might sneak in with a diminished chord under it. So it delays that feeling of a secondary dominant to resolution, F minor, let's say, by sneaking in some chromatic. I'll show you an example of a secondary dominant that jumps out. It's measure 6, where you have a C7, that's your secondary dominant of F minor. It's all of that is secondary dominant. And here's where he sneaks in a diminished, here it is, before he finally gets to the F minor. See, good to know that. These are things you should know. And the other very poignant place is measure 11, where you see a diminished chord, which would be the diminished chord of F minor here. This is going to B flat major. But still, here we're in B flat major. So this would be the dominant of the dominant. And puts a 7th on it, and it goes to the 6th chord of B flat major. That's what's happening. 2 chord. This is a standard cadence. Dominant, and resolve, and then these secondary dominants of E major, of F major, of E flat primary. It's good to know that, because if you get lost in the piece, you want to have some kind of harmonic anchor that you can find your way back. When you do the afterbeats, you're sensitive to the balance. That is, the melody is the star of this, no doubt. Fundamental bass is the frame on the outer side, and on the inside is the harmony. And that harmony must be lighter for this particular piece. So you get this. You practice this time. But you keep your melody contour. You keep that diminished chord, resolve F minor, secondary dominant of C minor, diminished chord, primary dominant. Tie. All the way resolve and that was a secondary dominant of C minor, but now diminished chord. See how quiet I keep that left hand? Take your time. Minor 4 chord. Now bigger. That's a stretch. 6 chord. 2 chords. I know my harmony. Anyway, this is how I do it. The other thing about the afterbeats, some of them are kind of slurred, so you drag them more. See, they're slurred. They're split, but they're slurred. Some of them aren't, like just this. But they still have to be afterbeats, and they have to be cushioned down because they're just filling in harmony. So you don't want them to box your right hand by interrupting your right hand flow. I'm going to go very slowly here with all of the everything together. So this is minor 4 chord, very slowly. I'm going purposely slowly for practice. Now I'd use my soft pedal here. Be careful here. Very light. Open up a little. Now a little bit more. Suddenly. Moves. Big. Now start soft. I don't know if I counted 12 of those. As micrometers of touch, you have to really keep down that afterbeats and bring out the fundamental bass framing with the soprano, and have the soprano really be unencumbered in its feeling of improvisation. Left hand afterbeats filling in harmony, and don't let it go up and down, but make it go across.